India's moves are aimed at sustaining high levels of growth. Meanwhile, the US seems to be heading in the opposite direction. The fears of a recession are back, and this time the warnings are louder than ever. They come from investment bank UBS and credit ratings agency Moody's. Now, UBS says there's a high chance of recession. As for Moody's, their chief economist has declared that the US is on the brink. Let's look at both these claims one by one, starting with UBS. How did they calculate the probability of recession? Well, UBS says it is tracking what it calls the hard data, stuff like personal income, consumer spending, industrial production, and employment. These numbers turned negative back in the month of February. Well, they have not collapsed, but they have stayed weak. And UBS has described the situation as quote-unquote soggy. The bank has identified 3 red flags. First, the cost of borrowing. Short-term loans are more costly than long-term borrowings. It's a sign of an economy under stress. The second red flag is that credit is under pressure and the risk of loan defaults is higher. Third red flag, America's economic data. It appears flat and fragile. UBS has looked at the data in 2 ways. One model puts the chance of a US recession at 93%. A 93% probability of recession. That is extremely high. What about the second model? It combines several key signals, stuff like jobs, spending, incomes, credit, and this second model puts the overall probability of recession at 52%. So that's closer to a coin toss. Either way, the risk of a recession is quite high. And that's not all. UBS is also worried about stagflation. What is stagflation? It means that your growth is slowing down, but prices are rising, and it's happening at the same time. So slower growth and more inflation. Then we come to Moody's. It is voicing similar concerns. Its chief economist has weighed in. His name is Mark Zandi. Listen to what he said in an interview.
I don't think the economy is in a recession, at least not at this point, but it feels like it's on the brink, it's on the precipice of this recession.
His biggest concern is job creation. In the month of July, the US added very few new jobs. Zandi fears that those numbers could fall even further.
With the revisions, it is conceivable that the recently paltry job gains turn to losses. If so, there will be a legitimate debate over whether the economy is already in a recession.
Zandi also looked across the map of America. He studied all American states and apparently saw a troubling picture. He says almost 1/3 of the US economy is already in recession or very close to it. Another 1/3 is flat. That means no growth or decline. Only the final third is still expanding. Last month, Bank of America delivered its own outlook, and they too raised the risk of stagflation. They blamed it on 2 of Trump's policies. First, limits on immigration, and second, the tariffs. So the warnings are all stacking up. UBS says there's a more than 50% chance of recession. Moody says the economy is on the brink, and Bank of America says stagflation is coming. If you join the dots, this is what you get. The US is still far from a collapse, but it's not stable either. The road ahead is treacherous for the United States of America, and that does not bode well for the rest of the world. This is, after all, the world's biggest economy. It may be slowing, and it won't go down alone. It will drag others with it.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakarjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.